The laugh landed before the words did. Sharp, casual, practiced. It slid across the table like a blade and stopped at my chest. My sister raised her wine glass, elbow angled just enough to command the room. Candlelight caught the rim. Red reflected on my dress. On my hands. On the space where I kept my breathing shallow. "Cheers to our real family," she said. A pause, perfectly timed. Except the girl in the red dress. "She's just adopted." The room reacted on instinct. A ripple of laughter. Forks frozen mid-air, eyes turning toward me like searchlights. I kept chewing. The steak was overcooked, dry. I focused on that. Texture, salt, anything. But the heat crawling up my spine. Anything but the familiar pressure behind my eyes. Inside, something old shifted, not cracked. Aligned. I had learned a long time ago that silence unsettles people more than tears. Silence leaves room for consequences. My sister watched me over the rim of her glass, waiting. For a flinch, a plea, proof that she'd placed me where I belonged, outside. I swallowed, smiled faintly, and kept eating. She'd always liked that word. Adopted. Rolled it out when she needed to remind me. I was conditional, a guest who overstayed her welcome. What the room didn't know, what she assumed I never questioned, was how carefully I'd listened growing up. How often adults forget themselves around the person they consider invisible. I remembered hushed arguments behind closed doors. My mother, her mother, crying about money that vanished. Papers moved. Names changed. A will rewritten and rewritten again. I remembered my sister learning early how to smile while taking more than her share. The betrayal wasn't the word. It was the certainty behind it. She knew something, or believed she did. I watched her that night. The way she leaned into our relatives, how she owned the table like a stage. This wasn't a joke. It was a declaration, and she wanted witnesses. I didn't confront her. I audited her. Weeks earlier, I'd begun asking questions no one thought to ask. Bank statements that didn't match declared income. Property taxes paid from unfamiliar accounts. A trust fund mentioned in conversation but never in writing. I ran my own history like a crime scene. Adoption records. Court filings, amendments, redactions that shouldn't exist. Every answer arrived slowly, carefully, as if the truth didn't want to be seen all at once. I learned my adoption had been rushed, unusually so, that my sister's name appeared on documents it shouldn't have, that certain signatures were forged, not poorly, just confidently. Confident people make mistakes. I requested a DNA test under the guise of family curiosity. My sister laughed when I suggested it. Too quickly, too loudly. "Why bother?" she said. "We already know who belongs." "Why bother?" she said. "We already know who belongs." The results arrived 3 days before the dinner. I opened the envelope alone. No shaking hands, no gasp. Just confirmation I wasn't adopted. She was. Illegitimate, hidden, folded. Into the family quietly when it became inconvenient to keep her secret. Elsewhere. The trust fund, built for me, redirected to her through a legal sleight of hand that depended on one thing, my ignorance. I folded the papers. Waited. Back at the restaurant, dessert plates were cleared. The check arrived with ceremonial weight. Leather-bound. Deliberate. The manager hovered. Polite, expectant. "Who will be taking care of the bill?" he asked. $5,000. A number meant to impress. To remind everyone who had power. I set my fork down. Slowly, I looked at my sister. Really looked. The confidence. The cruelty polished smooth by years of practice. I smiled and pointed. "Let her and her real family handle it," I said. My voice steady, mild. "This is only the beginning." The room froze. Her face drained of color so fast it startled even me. "What?" she whispered. I reached into my bag and placed the envelope on the table. Not pushed, not slammed, simply released. "You should read it," I said. "Before the lawyers do." Silence stretched, thick, suffocating. Hands trembled as she opened it. Pages flipped too fast, then slower, then not at all. Her mouth opened, closed. The manager stepped back, suddenly uncertain. The audience sensed blood but didn't understand the wound. "You lied," she breathed. I nodded once. "So did you." She stood abruptly, chair scraping loud enough to flinch the room. Words tried to escape her, excuses, denials, bargains. I didn't give her any. I stood, placed my napkin beside the plate, untouched by haste. I'll be moving the assets tomorrow, I said quietly, and correcting the records. You'll hear from my attorney. I paused, leaned in just enough for her to hear me alone. You were right about one thing, I said. Family isn't about blood. I straightened. It's about who survives the truth. I walked out without looking back. Outside, the night air felt clean, empty, honest. For the first time, I felt nothing pulling me backward, and that was enough.